that work is very uncomfortable. So the mind gonna automatically look for an escape. You're not learning no new skill. You're not doing. When are you gonna get out of that comfort zone? When are you gonna be uncomfortable? Before we start, I want you to be honest. I say honest very directly, with yourself. How many times have you sat down to do something that could actually change your life? Pray, work on a goal, fix your money habits, study, heal, clean your space, and start over. And within minutes, you feel tired, hungry, overwhelmed, overstimulated, or just the urge. This the one that most people run to. The urge to just be on your phone. Just check it for 1 second. Then that second turns into an hour. The hour turns into a day. And the thing that matters the most did not even get done at all. And of course, we know not because you are lazy, not because you didn't care, but because your focus just slipped away. The enemy just came into everything from you. It just slipped away little by little. You had nothing until you had nothing left to give. Most people think discretion looks dramatic. It's like you lose everything. You hit rock bottom. And it's public failure. But in real life, very few people are taken out that way. Most people don't lose their future in one moment. They lose it slowly, slowly. And that's through the distractions. And it's quietly, it makes you very comfortable. Most people love to say comfortable. When are you going to get out of that comfort zone? When are you going to be uncomfortable? Almost invisibly, just enough to keep them busy, entertained, emotionally, Lord Jesus, emotionally drained, and slightly behind the life they know they should be living. If you've been feeling stuck, scattered, tired all the time, or frustrated because you know you are meant for more but cannot seem to stay consistent. And I had trouble with this for a very long time, for years. Yeah. The enemy came, the devil came and just took everything from me until I realized that I am very capable of more. I do not supposed to be in this position that I'm in. I'm not supposed to be doing the things that I'm doing. But I felt comfortable, you know. This is not random, and this conversation may explain more than you expect. Now, before we dive in, hey there, welcome to Soft Authority. If you're new here, hi, my name is Ebony, and if you're returning, welcome back. This space is intentional. It is. I do everything with intentions. And I help people build self trust, discipline, and confidence without yelling at you, of course. It is in a calm, honest way. And I also do not pretend like that healing is easy because it ain't. So if you're outgrowing those old habits, old environments, or even old versions of yourself, but feel like your progress just keeps getting interrupted and you don't know why, you can't explain. You can't explain it. You're not broken. You're not alone. Many capable people are not failing because they lack the intelligence or the strength. They're mostly overwhelmed, overstimulated, and pulled into too many directions all at once. You can't focus on one task. So, distraction can make you feel busy while your real life quietly, it is quietly being stolen by the enemy. It can drain your peace, scatter your attention, and make you even doubt yourself. And I've did that for a very long time, half of my life. If you feel like you've had no energy, your focus has been very weak, and every time you start to gain some momentum, something just pulls you off track. This conversation is meant to bring clarity. I'm not here to shame you. Go ahead and get comfortable because we're about to have a real conversation. Distraction is very loud. Distraction is the quiet one. If something is truly destroying your life, everyone sees it. Everybody. There is this urgency, there is support, there is a clear problem to fix, but distraction slips away under the radar because you still look presentable. You still look functional. You're still showing up for work, showing up for yourself, still answering all the questions, the messages, and you're still taking on or taking care of your responsibilities. But inside, you feel scattered, broken. Your attention is definitely divided between too many things. You're not focused on one thing at all. Your mind never rests. You start tasks and you don't finish them. And you always starting and not finishing anything. You move all day, but you feel like you went nowhere. And at night, I mean, it's not funny. I'm everything that I'm saying, I've been there, and it is true. You move all day, but feel like you went nowhere. At night, you are exhausted but not satisfied because you work, but not on what truly matters. Especially when you're showing up. When I'm still working a 9 to 5, but when you're showing up at that job and you just feel like, okay, we worked the hard day, we're tired, we're exhausted, but we just don't feel like we're truly walking in our purpose. And weeks like that turn into months. Months turn into years. And you eventually start to wonder what happened to your time, your motivation, the version of you who had plans. You set goals to at a certain age, you was gonna be this person, you was gonna have that thing, that asset. Distraction does not remove your potential. It just keeps it unused long enough that you start doubting that it even exists. Like you don't even know what to do anymore. You just said forget it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna start this business. I'm not gonna start this weight loss journey. I'm not. Do I even have it in me? Distraction rarely shows up as something obviously harmful. No, it looks normal. It's endless scrolling, constant notification, drama, and definitely other people's problem. Multitasking, overthinking, comfort activities that quietly consumed hours. And when I say that, like gaming, for example, sometimes playing the game all day, not getting anything done, especially if you're not doing it, for making any type of income. You're just throwing your life away while gaming. Okay, cool. A couple hours is fine, but if all day, especially if you're supposed to be doing something productive, because I am a gamer too sometimes. But gaming can be one of those distractions to keep you off of your path of purpose if you consume it a little bit too much. So basically, it's staying busy with things that don't build your future. Your brain becomes overstimulated but undernourished. Like you're not learning anything. You're not learning no new skill. You're not doing any of that. When that happens, the deep focus feels very uncomfortable. You can't stay focused. How can you be in deep focus when you're so distracted, especially about the little noise that you may hear in the other room? Silence feels strange. You can't sit with yourself in silence. You can't even deal with your own thoughts. When you're being still, that stillness does feel boring. So if you reach for more stimulation to feel better, not realizing the stimulation is what drained you in the first place. Now you're tired, but cannot rest properly. Busy but not fulfilled. Always doing something yet nothing truly changes. Basically wasting time. If you're trying to grow, heal, or even get closer to God, distractions becomes even more powerful. The enemy is just gonna throw themselves at you. They're not gonna like that. They're not gonna like that, especially you're getting closer to God. They're not gonna like that you're trying to better yourself, better your thoughts, better your environment. They ain't gonna like that at all. Healing requires stillness. You have to reflect. You have to sit down and just be honest with yourself. Create those boundaries that most people ain't gonna like no way. You have to process your emotions that you have avoided for years instead of running to the alcohol, running to the marijuana, whatever the case, or whatever you're using to cope with your emotions. You have to start running. You have to deal with it. That work is very uncomfortable. So the mind gonna automatically look for an escape. I gotta do something. I have to clean up. I have to take care of this. I have to fix this. You have to do something just so you can stay busy and you don't have to feel anything. You just want to be numb to it all. You want to scroll on your phone just so you don't have to think deeply about anything. You don't have to worry about nothing. You tell yourself you've moved on and I've heard so many people say, oh, I forgave them. I done moved on. I ain't worried about it. Yes, you are. You're When you do that, you're mostly blaming somebody else and not even taking accountability for your actions. Yeah, like, you really just trying to move faster just so you won't have to deal or think with anything. Think about nothing. The pain that is not processed does not disappear. It shows up as anxiety. You don't trust yourself. You're very irritated quickly. Any little things set you off. And you don't have no motivation. You don't even feel like doing it. You wonder why you're doing it. It drains your energy in the background while you wonder why everything feels harder than it should. Over time, distractions makes you stop believing in yourself altogether, basically. You plan things, you don't even follow through. You don't even show up for yourself. You ain't coming through. You ain't you ain't coming through for yourself. You set those goals, you postpone, you procrastinate. Say I'll start Monday. I'll start later on. And eventually you just stop expecting everything differently because you're wondering why should I do it? But confidence is not built by positive thinking. It is built by keeping those small promises. If you say you're going to work out. At least it's 10 minutes. Something small, ain't got to be nothing dramatic. Most people say 30 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes is good, but work your way up. Keep it small, keep it doable so you can be consistent through any distraction. Without consistency, you don't even trust yourself anymore. It just fades away. Now, let me tell you this, not all distractions come from that phone. All distractions do not come off social media. Most of them, some of them, however you want to put it, but a lot of distractions come from people. It's just people always trying to throw you off. A lot of people try to throw you off your game, getting your ear, talking all that self negative talk or whatever, like you can't do it, putting you down, putting that doubt, fear in your mind. All that drama, bringing other people's problems to you, gossiping about other people's business that ain't got nothing to do with you. All of that is distractions. Even being the one that everyone leans on, you're providing the support, providing the emotional guidance. Everyone leans on you. Environments that rewards that type of comfort, it punishes your growth. It don't even give you room to grow. That's why most people get stuck in it because in their mind they're thinking, okay, I gotta do this. You're not obligated to do anything. Take care of yourself and take care of what matters. You get pressure to stay the same around other people just to make them feel comfortable. And when they get uncomfortable, that's when you start to go back on your words just to make them feel good. No, we're not doing it. We're not doing it at all. If you are outgrowing those surroundings, focus can feel like betrayal. People would think you doing better than them. People think you're too much. Definitely too much. They're so stuck in being there in their own way. They're not. They can't understand. They can't understand where you're coming from. They can't understand where you're going. So that tells you already that they're not even meant to be on this healing journey with you. On a healing journey, you're going to lose people. I had to learn that for myself. Because so many people are so stuck in being in their own ways to the point that they don't even see them themselves. They don't even see it. They don't see what they're doing is evil. They don't see what they're doing is wrong. Sometimes you can even betray yourself. Like I said, because you're taking back those boundaries that you already set between you and them. But how can you build a new life? How can you build a new life while giving the equal energy to everything that belongs to the old version of you? How can you give your energy to people that was only connected to you for a certain season and only for a reason? How can you? Now I'm going to pause and ground this space a little bit. If this is hitting close to home, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. I will be talking about more topics pertaining healing because that is where I'm at currently in life. And I'm speaking from lived experience about everything that I done went through. Make sure that you please give this video a thumbs up because it'll help reach people that are quietly struggling with this. And if you are serious about rebuilding your lives from the inside out, calmly, realistically, and without pretending like anything is easy, please stay connected. The most dangerous part of distraction is that it keeps you comfortable enough not to worry. Like you're so comfortable that you don't even act out when you're still stuck in the same cycle. You're unfulfilled enough just to stay stuck because you feel like you're not capable. It could even show up as you're busy but not progressing. You ain't going nowhere. You just still on that same, like, go back to the working out example. Still working out for them 10 minutes and you're not getting any results now because you're so used to doing them 10 minutes. You feel comfortable because you know you can do it. You don't challenge yourself enough. You're tired but you're not proud. You're occupied but not building anything meaningful. You're not working on that business. You're not changing your diet. And over time, this creates a quiet hopelessness to where you feel like you're not even worthy. It's not dramatic sadness. It's a dull feeling that life is passing you and you are not fully participating in it. You started to regret it. Yeah, you start to regret your life because you feel like you're supposed to be somewhere else in life, especially at a certain age that you plan to be. It ain't nobody fault but yourselves. It's your fault. You allowed the enemy to come in and destroy everything that you plan to do. So here's how you start to reclaim your attention. The way forward is not an extreme. It's not extreme. You ain't got to do too much. You have to set those intentions. You have to be intentional. You don't need to change everything at once, especially not overnight. And you're not changing who you are. You need to start reclaiming your attention in those small ways. Set aside an hour to just focus on your plans, your goals, yourself. One task completed fully. Wash those dishes that you said you was gonna wash. That way you ain't gotta do it later. You ain't gotta do it the next day. Set that one boundary. That's gonna make somebody uncomfortable, but it protects your peace. One quiet moment without the noise. Go in that bathroom, shut the door, lock it. Pray. Be honest. Start off being honest with yourself. Do that one decision that's going to align with your future instead of your impulses. Especially shopping. Mhm. Shopping online. These small actions rebuild your whole identity. You start seeing yourself as someone who directs your life instead of reacting to everything or everyone around you. Where your attention goes, that's where your future grows. If you have been feeling scattered, frustrated, or just disappointed in yourself, please, please, please hear this clearly. You are not broken. You're not. You may simply be over distracted in a world designed to compete for every second of your attention. Stop living in the world. Stop living in the flesh. The fact that you are becoming aware, it means change is already possible for you. If you want grounded guidance on rebuilding self trust, discipline, emotional strength, and a life that actually feels like yours, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stay with me. You don't have to navigate none of this alone. Remember, you don't need a perfect plan today. You also don't need to become a completely different person overnight. You just need to start protecting your attention like it matters, because it does. Your focus is not a small thing, it's your future in concentrated form. When this video ends, choose one small action that moves you towards the person you want to become in the next year, the next 6 months. Not the distractions that pulls you backwards. We're not going backwards. Okay? Don't ever go backwards at all. But take a slow breath. Keep going, you guys. Keep going. And if no one told you, I am rooting for you. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.